Hey, everybody. Today, I'm asking if you like this show, would you head over to iTunes and leave a review? Just go to coolcatteacher.com/iTunes, and it will take you to the show on iTunes. And you can give it stars, or even better, if you leave a rating. It really does make a difference, and it helps other teachers find the show. Thanks. How to use augmented reality in language and lit classes, episode 452.
The 10-Minute Teacher Podcast with Vicki Davis. Every weekday, you'll learn powerful, practical ways to be a more remarkable teacher today.
Today, we're talking with T.W. Williamson from Taiwan about augmented reality in language and lit classes. So, T.W., how are you using augmented reality in these classes?
Vicki, we're using augmented reality by having students create a way to show their understanding of concepts in the literature.
So what does that look like?
Well, the simple answer is give them an A4 piece of paper, and they can put an image on it that they choose that they feel represents something from the book that we're reading. And from that, you or I or anyone else could take our smartphone or an iPad, and when we target their image that they've chosen, a visual begins to play in our phone, and what the student has created to put in there. And it's fantastic. It layers a meaning that the kids can present to you, me, anyone else when we look at it.
So what kind of visuals are they creating? What's a book that your students might study?
Well, we just finished Elie Wiesel's A Night, and the statement of inquiry was personal experience gives power to perspective. So I thought, how can AR allow a technical layering of perspective that reflects the student's layering of understanding? So, for example, one of the students chose an original photograph online, and they put it up on the wall, and it's a picture of German troops in full parade review, and Hitler and one of his generals is reviewing this line. Then I look at this picture on the wall, and my phone gets triggered by HP Reveal that we all use. And when HP Reveal triggers this image, I'm no longer seeing the picture of the adult combat troops in parade review. I'm seeing a picture that the student has chosen. It's of Hitler Youth all lined up in a very similar fashion.
Oh.
Another one was a student who had actually been to Auschwitz, and he drew a layout of the camp, and he numbered it in 8 different places so that you look at it, it's like a helicopter view of, the camp. And as you move your phone around from each of the locations, each has been identified as an individual trigger, the student put in original photos that he had taken on a middle school international trip to the site. And he had a paragraph at each of those locations. So you're getting text and images that are appearing to you from your phone when it's looking at the student's original piece, the first piece he put up on the wall.
So are you seeing any video or any other types of media attached?
Yeah, and when you're creating one, you can put it in directly from your phone. So you have your trigger you've selected, some picture or something, and then you go through the program procedure, and you can pick from your library. You can make a video right on the spot. I've got an AP psychology teacher who just used it and figured out how to get into a program I haven't even used yet. She got so excited she ran away with the idea. And she's using, I think it's Reddle, and it takes a YouTube and can turn it into a file that then you can embed into the HP Reveal. So video, original work, stock images from online. I mean, if you can find it, you can use it and layer it in.
So how does this transform teaching in the classroom?
Well, the kids have, and teachers who use it, have complete control of what they want to do. And you think about how audience imperative, communicating with your audience, you teach a 5-paragraph essay, the traditional stuff, and that's all good because you need it. It's fundamental. But then you look at this and you give the kids something very different. It's their creative expression. They really have ownership. I mean, literally, they own the impact that they make on their viewers, where they put the images, what they select for the overlay, what kind of meaning they want to create. And it's there. I could send you one now and you could see it. And you put it on your computer screen. And you could have the very same experience as long as you had the student's username.
So how do you pass this down from year to year? I'm talking about like if you have a student this year that creates something like that beautiful piece that was so impactful from the student's trip, do you have some sort of handing down type experience where you say, okay, this is what they did last year, take a look to introduce a topic? How does that work?
Well, as far as like an integrated curriculum integration, this is new for us. Like I teaching mostly year 4, grade 9. Our year 5, grade 10 teacher for Lang and Lit, I mean, she's real tech savvy. And if she would choose to do this, the concept of moving it forward would certainly be something that, would be cool if she embraced. It's moving into other classrooms, other subject fields. But as far as this student's original work, I haven't done it yet, but I could easily take digital images of the student's trigger work, and that digital archive I have would then be triggered every time I looked at each of those images. So yeah, that would be a great way to save it. I'm glad you brought that up.
So TW, are there any mistakes you've made teaching with augmented reality?
Oh, sure. Some of them are letting students try different programs. We ended up on HP Reveal. We tried some others where let students have individual choices, but then it got really complicated figuring out who's in what platform, and we all had to learn each other, so we streamlined it. Some of the kids' phones don't work. They don't have the right operating system. Some kids, believe it or not, their parents don't let them have phones, which I can see as a parent could be a good thing at times. So, you have to have the kids go down to the iPads, and if you have an iPad cart in your IT department, and sometimes the program glitches and everybody sort of gets shot down for a while. And so we scratch our heads and say, well, gee, we don't know why. Let's call IT. Well, they don't have a clue because it's not our problem. Maybe it's on the other end. So those are things I think all of us experience, but nothing beyond that, really. I mean, just normal growing pains, I think, when you're learning a new approach.
So TW, how do you encourage teachers to get started?
Well, I tell them what I'm doing and, just sort of share it around a little bit and mention it to some people that you think are interested. And then you say, just come see me, or let's try it. It's not that hard. I can give you a 5-minute demo. And usually that's all you need. Right on the spot, I can create one for you with my phone right here, right now. And then they go from scratching their head to sort of saying, whoa, I can do this too. Sure, no problem. Let's go. Let's do it. And so I think it's just a little bit of a sales pitch, but imagining what can happen is really easy when you see one occurring in front of you.
Yeah, I think that hands-on and working with teachers directly just really does make a difference. So thank you, TW. We can use augmented reality in all of our subjects, but it's fascinating to see how he's using it in language and lit classes. Thanks, TW.
Thanks, Vicki. That was a blast.
Hello, listeners. Would you do a favor? If you like the 10-Minute Teacher podcast, would you go to coolcatteacher.com/iTunes? That will take you to the iTunes store for the show, and leave a review or give a rating. It really does help other people find the show. Thanks.
Thank you for listening to the 10-Minute Teacher podcast. You can download the show notes and see the archive at coolcatteacher.com/podcast. Never stop learning.